Time now for our Crestwood Cadet Coach conversation with Skip Eckhardt. And Coach, obviously, with the way the world is, practice has been different, I'd imagine, to begin the year. How has this preseason been different than years past?
The biggest thing is that you sat around, till probably they let us get in the weight room. Some guys played baseball, but until about July, they finally let you start in the weight room. And we had 4 groups, spread out, 3 outside and 1 in. And every 15 we changed, but they had to stay with that same group with the same partner, and we're spacing all the time. And then, the mask you got, if their helmet ain't on, we got kind of like the baseball thing, and all that stuff. And you have your own water bottle. We made 2 different dressing areas, so the 9th and 10th are separate. And then where we go for pregame, my custodians are great guys. They built me some stuff so we could hang the stuff out there. And then we got guys, disinfecting and all that stuff. We're taking all the soft stuff home, So a lot more. I've been in this a long time. It's just a lot of just little things you got to be careful, and you got to kind of tell your guys to, don't be going around a lot of people. You might have a shot because, you got to sit out 2 weeks, but you're going to end up sitting out 3 games. There's no way you can sit out 2 weeks, do nothing, and then come back. That's the biggest thing. So we don't want to be selfish.
When you really get down to it, though, is having football, is having high school activities, do you believe that's a little bit of motivation for a lot of young people to, when I'm away from the school setting, when I'm away from the team setting, I better behave and watch myself and watch my P's and Q's?
Well, we picked up a few guys, too, that hadn't been out before that come and join us, some good guys that can help us out. And we've had a pretty good group since I've been here 3 years ago. They work pretty hard and do a good job, and they're kids. You try your best. You put yourself in that role like those. They give that crap to all those college people uptown and that. You go, well, it is what it is. But I decided you got to give up about 13 weeks, hopefully, and if you can do that, good things can happen.
Yeah, I think you and I would have been there with those college kids at 19 to 22. But as for what you've done on the field, what's made you the most happy about your guys in your couple weeks of practice to this point?
Just everybody's been working really hard, great technique, fight for positions. It's the effort put out after doing nothing, more or less. Some of them did stuff, but it's not the same as being around a bunch of guys, and that's why they have coaches. They busted their tail. We lift in the morning and then they practice, and the effort's been really good. I think they got a good goal on site, and we'll see what happens.
And looking at your roster, it looks like you got a nice core group of kids to build something around, but a lot of opportunities for playing time for kids that are hungry. Is that a fair way to put it?
Well, I'm one of those guys, the only ones that back that have got positions that most me for sure, and then the coaches. And it's kind of wide open. It's kind of like I tell them, it's a canvas where you paint your own picture. What do you want? But we've had some 3-year starters. Our quarterback's been a 3-year player. Sovlik's been a 3-year player. Kieran, Bernicle. A bunch of those guys have been 3-year players this year. So, and we had that all-district freshman last year as a D lineman. So, and we just got a bunch of good guys. I like competition. I think we have about 70 out for 9-12, which is probably a little more than normal. So they want to. It's only show out there.
And when you look at the season as a whole, with the 7-week regular season, everybody is going to bank the postseason this year and get that second chance opportunity. Does that change your big picture approach to the season at all?
Well, with this corona, you could get knocked out and not get in just because of the sickness. I'd rather have more. I didn't really like the way they did it last year. I think there's some good teams that get left out, and most of the states around do the same thing. Everybody gets to go to the wrestling tournament to get in, right? Everybody gets a shot in basketball, track. What the heck, give the other guys. But I don't mind it with the way it is this year. And think about it. What if you have a great team and you have a team beats you by 1, you don't get in? And there's some teams somewhere else that 3 or 4 of your guys can take care of business. I just like it. Gives opportunity to the kids. If you lose a couple, they're ready to go to the next sport. Now, hey, we could maybe have bad things happen, win 3, and we'll get on a run, and you can punch your ticket. So they still got that motivation. You know how it is. They start losing a couple, and they're looking at winter sports. So this keeps everybody involved, I think.
And obviously, from a schedule standpoint, you guys haven't shied away from quality competition. And seems like looking at the schedule with the naked eye, you're going to get tested early and often, aren't you?
Well, I can take crap for that since I've been here. I don't want to, nothing against anybody. I want the big boys. I want the big boys in Decorah, know. They were my rival. They've always been our rival. And Waverly's another big dog that nobody likes. But, hey, I mean, knock on wood, you stay healthy. But if we stay healthy, we're ready to go. You compete with them and beat them guys, pretty good club, Yeah, we didn't shy away from finding the old granddaddies around.
And you go down to Waverly Shellrock to open up the season this week. What challenges the Goldhawks going to present to you?
Well, they're going to have a ton of people. They're a bigger school, one of the biggest ones, and they're coached well. They do a great job. They got a great weight room facility that's run, and I'm big on that. You can take average kids and make them good players, and it's just going to be fun. It's going to be fun, man. 40th year, buddy. Fun times. I was sick of sitting around the house. I'd probably been 400 pounds if we didn't have football. Hell, I don't know, have to go to the gastric and I'd be in my 600-pound life. But thank God we get to get out and get moving around again.
Well, 40 years, so you started coaching when you were 5 or 6, and then Skip, or what?
I'm an old shy, so even though I look good, it's, I started in 81, so this will be 40th.
Well, it's nice to see you still got that enthusiasm, still got that fire. That's what it's all about, Coach. Keep your kids healthy this week. We wish you best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks to everybody out there. Hopefully we get through this thing and everybody stay safe.
Crestwood Coach Conversation with head coach Skip Eckhardt.